Good morning, you're watching Doordarshan News and this is the news for hearing impaired. I am Nancy Kohli and with me is Sonu. Let's begin with the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with the nation in the second episode of Mann Ki Baat 2.0 at 11 this morning. People eagerly await the broadcast on all the Doordarshan and All India Radio networks. Prime Minister Modi says the Kargil victory was a symbol of India's might, determination and capability. The Prime Minister pays tributes to the heroes and the martyrs of Kargil War. All the passengers aboard Kolhapur-bound Mahalaxmi Express rescued. The authorities safely evacuate more than 1,000 people stranded due to waterlogging of the track near Badlapur in Thane. And in international news, in a major crackdown in Moscow, the Russian police arrest several at a rally. The protesters demand inclusion of opposition candidates in the local body elections. First up, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in his radio program Mann Ki Baat on the All India Radio today at 11 in the morning. It will be the second Mann Ki Baat program after Prime Minister Modi assumed office for the second term. The program will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan and the All India Radio website. That's www.allindiaradio.gov.in. It will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of the Prime Minister's Office, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, All India Radio and Doordarshan News. Prime Minister Modi on Saturday paid tributes to the heroes and the martyrs of the Kargil War 20 years after they pushed back Pakistan from Indian soil in the Dras sector. Expressing his gratitude, Prime Minister Modi addressed the audience and paid homage to the brave hearts who laid their lives in the service of our motherland. Saluting them, the Prime Minister hit out at Pakistan for its duplicity on the issue of Kashmir and the proxy war from across the border. He said its ill intentions were defeated in 1999 when India gave a befitting reply at the Kargil. Without naming Pakistan, Prime Minister Modi said that the country is still smarting from the defeat 20 years ago and continues to fuel terror in India. Its aim is to destroy peace and tranquility and create an atmosphere of instability in the country. But our brave hearts continue to foil these attempts, he said. The Prime Minister also appealed to all to unite against the menace of terror. The families of the Kargil martyrs as well as war heroes were the special invitees at the event. Prime Minister Modi saluted not just the soldiers but also their family members who forsake their tomorrow for today. Moving on now, President Nath Kovind will leave on a state visit to 3 African countries, Benin, the Gambia and Guinea today. The 7-day visit will be the first high-level tour of any Indian president to the 3 West African countries. Pratap Chandra Sarangi, the Minister of State for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries, and the Member of Parliament, Dilip Ghosh, will accompany the President. On the first leg of his week-long visit, the President will arrive in Cotonou, Benin, where he will hold talks with his counterpart. The President will also address the National Assembly. During the visit to the Gambia, the President will hold delegation-level talks with the President in the capital, Banjul. As a special gesture, the National Assembly, which is currently in recess, will hold a special session for the address of President Kovind on the same day. On the last leg of his visit, the President will visit Guinea, where he will hold delegation-level talks with his counterpart. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will visit Mozambique on a 3-day visit to further strengthen the defence relations. During his visit, the Defence Minister will hold talks with the President. The Defence Minister Foreign Minister and the Interior Minister of Mozambique. 3 MOUs and agreements will be signed in the fields of exclusive economic zone, surveillance, the sharing of wide shipping information and hydrography. There will also be a ceremony of handing over 2 fast interceptor boats and 44 SUVs from India to Mozambique. Moving on now, in a multi-agency operation, all the stranded passengers on board the Mahalaxmi Express were rescued on Saturday, 17 hours after it got marooned due to floodwaters near Mumbai amid heavy downpour. The train left Mumbai for Kolhapur in western Maharashtra on Friday night, but could not travel beyond Guney in Thane district, where it reached in the wee hours of Saturday. The rescue operation lasted more than 12 hours, involving teams of the NDRF, the RPF and the flood rescue team from the Navy. While some were rescued by the boats, others were airlifted by the Air Force helicopters. The Maharashtra government has arranged for a special train for the passengers to reach Kolhapur. Union Home Minister Amit Shah lauded the efforts of the NDRF, the 3 services and other agencies in rescuing passengers from the train stranded. The Home Minister also lauded the efforts of the NDRF, the 3 services and other agencies in rescuing the passengers from the stranded train. And meanwhile, the Indian Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rains in Mumbai, including extremely heavy rain in isolated places for the next 24 hours. The BMC has in fact said it was prepared for the monsoon onslaught and asked the citizens to be careful. And earlier, the heavy rains in Mumbai forced the cancellation of 11 flights and diversion of 9 incoming aircraft to the nearby airports on Saturday. In addition to that, 9 flights that were scheduled to arrive in Mumbai have been diverted to other nearby airports due to rains and other issues. Besides that, the 8 incoming aircraft had to do a go-around before landing at the airport. Liquor Baron Vijay Mallyas on Saturday approached the Supreme Court seeking stay on the confiscation of properties owned by him and his relatives. In the petition, Mallyas has said that no properties other than that of Kingfisher Airlines, which faces cases of alleged irregularities, should be attached. The case has been listed for hearing on the 29th, that's tomorrow. Earlier on 11th of this month, the Bombay High Court had refused to grant stay on the proceedings before a special court on the confiscation of Mallyas' properties. Mallyas, who is currently in the UK, has been charged by the Enforcement Directorate of defaulting on the bank loans to the tune of 9,000 crore rupees. In Chhattisgarh, more than a dozen Naxals, including 3 female rebels, were killed in an encounter with the security forces on Saturday. The gun battle took place in the forest of Tiria in Bastar district. 7 bodies of Naxals have been recovered. Chhattisgarh DGP DM Awasthi said that after a specific input that a large number of Maoists are present in the area bordering Chhattisgarh and Odisha, a joint team of the District Reserve Guard and the Special Task Force was sent on a search operation. And in Maharashtra, 6 wanted Naxals, including 4 women carrying cash rewards, on Saturday surrendered before the police in Gadchiroli. All of them collectively carried a bounty of 32.5 lakh rupees on their heads. The Naxals were wanted for several cases of murder, kidnapping and the attack on security forces in Gadchiroli. In some other news now, the US aerospace major Boeing on Saturday handed over the first 4 of the 22 Apache attack helicopters to the Indian Air Force. The delivery of the first batch of the AH64 Apache helicopters to the Indian Air Force at the Hindon Air Base came nearly 4 years after a multi-billion-dollar deal for the choppers was sealed. The Boeing said that the first batch of the Apaches arrived in India and an additional 4 choppers will be delivered to the Indian Air Force next week. The AH64 Apache, also flown by the US Army, is one of the world's most advanced multi-role combat helicopters. This will be Indian Army's first fleet of the attack choppers. And in some news now from around the world, the police in Moscow have arrested more than 1,000 people on Saturday following an opposition protest rally in the Russian capital. The protesters demanded that the city authorities to reverse decisions excluding key opposition candidates from the local body elections. The protest was the latest in a wave of demonstrations demanding fair local body elections. Earlier, the authorities had disqualified over 30 opposition candidates from contesting the elections, stating that they had failed to collect enough signatures to stand. The rally came a week after the capital's biggest protest in years, when several people called on the officials to reverse the rulings and allow the opposition activists to stand for the city council in September. Around 3,000 people took to the streets for the unauthorized rally, according to official figures. The terror organization Boko Haram gunmen killed 23 people in Nigeria on Saturday. The attack took place in the Borno state in northeastern Nigeria after mourners were returning following a funeral in the Naxals district near the state capital Maiduguri, the local militia leader Bunu Bukar Mustafa said. A Naxals district official confirmed both the incident and the death toll on the condition of anonymity. Boko Haram and its affiliates have intensified the attacks on civilian and the military targets in recent months, particularly in the Naxals district. In sports news now, the Asian Championship silver medalist Ashishkumar on Saturday bagged his first international gold at the Thailand Open International Boxing Tournament in Bangkok. Ashish was in impeccable form and outpunched Korea's Kim Jin-jae 5-0 for the biggest medal of his career, just 2 months after claiming a silver in the India Open. The Indian boxers finished their campaign with a rich haul of 8 medals at the boxing tournament. India finished with a gold, 4 silver and 3 bronze. On the final day, the Indians who had to settle for the silver were former World Junior Champion Nath, Asian Championship silver medalist Deepak, GB Boxer silver medalist Muhammad Husamuddin and India Open silver medalist Brijesh Yadav. And India's women and the men teams have won the Kabaddi World Cup in Melaka in Malaysia. In the final, men's team bagged the World Championship by defeating Iran by 57-27, while the women's team beat Taiwan 47-29 in the finals. The coach Jaipal Chandel said it is a matter of great pride that the Indian teams have shown their talents in the World Cup Kabaddi. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks for being with us.